Picture it, you're in bed, you're scrolling Zillow, and you find the perfect house. You're already figuring out where you want to put your Christmas tree, you're decorating the front porch for holidays. It's going to be the cutest thing ever. But let's take one quick pause. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things that you need to do before you even start looking at homes. These are the steps that I take my buyers through before they start looking on Zillow and before they start searching for homes, so that they don't waste any of their emotional energy falling in love with the perfect house when maybe they can't afford it. Make sure you stick around to the end though, because I'm going to share my checklist with you. Okay, so we're just going to jump right on into it. Step number 1 is to check your credit and do not touch it. What I mean by this is I want you to go and check on Equifax, TransUnion, all those things, pull your reports, go through them with a fine-tooth comb and make sure everything that's on there is actually yours, and that if you paid off a credit card recently or paid off some big debt, that it is showing that it is gone. The reason for this is because you want to make sure that you're set up the best way possible for your loan, and making sure that your credit is up to snuff and it's the right score and all those things is going to set you up for possibly having a better interest rate. So make sure that you check it over and it's accurate, but don't go opening new accounts, don't open new lines of credit or anything like that, because that's going to change everything. Number 2 is to start saving for your down payment and for closing costs. Now, we can definitely negotiate, different things into the contract as far as seller's credits and buy downs and all those kinds of things. However, there's always going to be expenses, whether it's moving expenses, whether you move into the house and you don't have enough curtains, or something breaks shortly after you move in and you need to get repairs done. There's always something that comes up. Now, you might be thinking, well, I'm going to have a VA loan. I don't have to have any closing costs. Oh, yes, you do. You might not have to have a down payment, but there are still closing costs involved. So take my word for it. Start saving now. The future you will be super grateful. Number 3, get pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. Now, these are two different things. A lot of people use pre-qualified, pre-approval as they're interchangeable, and they are not. So pre-qualified, you can go do this on almost any website out there. You type in what you say is your, income and what your debts are, and then whatever that, website is just takes your word for it and spits out, a pre-qualification. Now, and it kind of stops there. Now, a pre-approval is when you are actually speaking with a lender and they are running your credit, they are looking at your accounts, and they are really seeing the true picture. That pre-approval is a true indication of what you can afford when it comes down to it. That pre-qualification, if you were to just use that, go under contract, and when the lender starts doing their things, it could change. I've seen it. I always tell my buyers to get a pre-approval, but when I first started, I didn't really understand the difference. And some of them would get a pre-qualification, and we would find out that they either wouldn't get a great rate, or maybe they needed to bring more to the table. So getting that pre-approval shows you the true picture of what it's going to look like when you are closing. Okay, number 4 is to make sure that you know where you're comfortable at monthly for your mortgage. Now, in step number 3, we just got pre-approved, so we know how much of a loan we can get, how much the lender is willing to give us. That doesn't mean that you need to spend it all. It obviously means that's the max you can spend, but if you're more comfortable, if you get pre-approved for $500,000, but you're more comfortable at the $400,000 payment, then that's something that you need to know. Because at the end of the day, you are your own CFO. You know what your budget is. You know what your spending habits are as well, how much entertainment you like to do, how much you like to go out, how much you like to spend on clothes, that kind of thing. Your lender doesn't. So make sure that you know how much monthly that you're okay with, what range you're okay with. Number 5 is decide what you need and what you want. So I always tell my clients, make a list. So make a needs list and make a nice to have list. This way, when you're looking at homes, if the house meets all of your needs and then starts checking off some of your wants, it's going to be a great fit. If it, checks off some of your wants but not your needs, maybe we need to reconsider some things. But at the end of the day, this way, you can always go back to, if you're deciding between 2 homes, pair them against your list of needs and see which one fits the most things on those lists. It sounds silly, but trust me, it happens every once in a while where someone falls in love with 2 different homes, but when they go back to really look at what they needed for their family or their lifestyle, one always stands out better, more than the other. All right, we are halfway through. We have 5 more to go. If you've learned anything so far, I would love it if you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you ring the bell so that you know the next time that I make another video. Okay, number 6 is research the area, not just the home. What they say in real estate is location, location, location. So fall in love with the area before you start falling in love with homes. Keep in mind that you need to know how long your commute's going to be, if the schools are something that you would like in those areas, if there's stuff to do around the property. So what I always tell people is figure out where you want to be first after you make your needs and wants, and then we can hone in on the house because we already have our needs list, we already have our area, so put those things together and then we can find your house. All right, number 7 is understand the market that you're buying in. So is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? You know, what's going on with what you can negotiate? Are prices super high? Or are they something that's negotiable? Or are you gonna expect to pay more than what's listed? All of these things are definitely dependent on the market, on the time. Like during COVID, it was crazy. Now it's a much different market. So all of these things are something that you need to talk to your real estate professional about because each area is different as well. If you're buying in Chicago as opposed to down here, you know, those markets are just different. So knowing the kind of market that you're buying in can help you with what to expect for negotiations, can help you to expect with how much you might need to bring to the table or how little. All of those things kind of play a factor, but knowing that up front so that you've got the best picture of knowing what to expect is always the best way to go. All right, number 8, speaking of asking your real estate agent, is interviewing your real estate agent. Now, most people think that as sellers, those are the only people that interview their agents. For buyers, they're just gonna call whoever. No, please don't do that. Interview your buyer's agent because you're about to spend a couple $100,000 and it's not, you know, something to be taken lightly. So make sure that you jive with your real estate agent, like personality wise, but also so that you know that he or she knows what they're doing and knows the market, knows the area, knows, you know, can walk you through what to do from beginning to end, that you're not kind of left high and dry. So definitely ask your agent simple questions, ask around other friends that have purchased here, you know, do some research online, all that good stuff to make sure that you're comfortable with your person. But you can pick multiple people, call them up and talk to them and make sure that you know, like how they do business. But definitely interview that person because you're going to work with them for at least the next 45-ish to 60 plus days. So you better hope you like them. So speaking of real estate agents, I am one. So in case you haven't figured it out yet, my name is Kristen Weller. I am your local real estate agent here in Navarre, Florida, in the Panhandle of Florida. I almost said the United States, but in the Panhandle of Florida. All of my information is going to be popping up here. I would love to help you through that process or at least interview for the job. But reach out to me and on any way that you see here or on my socials, and I would love to help you out. Okay, number 9 is get your documents together early. So you're going to need bank statements, you're going to need pay stubs, you're going to need, you know, tax forms from the year prior or this year, depending on when you close, all that good stuff, or when you're purchasing rather. But you're going to need all of these items, and sometimes you need them again when your loan goes into underwriting. So make sure you have all these documents, marriage license, sometimes you need that, but you know, just different citizenship forms, all those good things. Make sure you have them in advance so that you can get to them easily, scan them in for their lender and title company, whoever needs them. But getting those things done in advance will make it so much less stressful when everyone's breathing down your neck to get those things really quickly. So kind of have them in a folder ready to go so that you've got everything ready to go. Speaking of documents, I did not forget my checklist. Comment down below checklist and I will reach out to you and give you that form. Number 10 is kind of a big one and something that a lot of people don't kind of think about. Be mentally prepared to go, basically. Once you find that house, I don't care what kind of market it is, there might not be like a huge rush, but you need to be able to get your documents together, get your contract together, know how you want to proceed with an offer so that you don't miss out on something. Even in this market today, it is, what is it, April of 2026. You know, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, but I've seen it many times where people drug their feet and someone came in right up underneath them. So my recommendation to people is if you truly love a house and it's gonna fit your needs and wants and your budget and everything else, be ready to make that offer so that you don't miss out. Don't overthink anything, but the best buyers are the ones that don't drag their feet and they're ready to go. Real estate doesn't have to be confusing. I help my buyers through the process, taking them step by step through the whole transaction, and I can help you too. So I hope you learned something today, and if you did, give me that thumbs up and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.